Come see us on tour in Hartford, Connecticut, Syracuse, Atlantic City, Levittown, Cohost, Providence, San Jose, Toledo, Ohio. Go to jimmydore.com for tickets. We have a special guest. Back to the show. Anita Krishna is a broadcaster, podcaster, former control room news director for Canada's Global News Network. After repeatedly questioning the network's refusal to apply basic journalistic standards to the mainstream COVID narrative, she was fired by Global News on January 18, 2022. She now publishes on Substack at Anita808 and at AnitaKrishna.com. Hey, Anita, good to see you.
Yes. Oh, I'm on YouTube. Just find me on YouTube, Anita K. That would be awesome.
Oh, you're also on YouTube? I didn't know that.
Yeah. They finally let me on there after kicking me off for so long, but that's kind of where I'm doing most of my work now. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. I didn't know that. Congratulations.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, I wanted to bring you on because I wanted to talk to you about this new prime minister. There's an article in the Toronto Sun. It says Mark Carney starts off as PM by lying to Canadians.
Indeed.
So, and this guy, that's the guy who wrote it, Lilly.
Brian Lilly, yeah. So he's a really good reporter, Canadian reporter here, yeah.
So is he like a famous Canadian reporter?
Well, he's popular amongst us, like people like us, sort of conservative, right-leaning people. But yeah, I mean, Mark Carney, yeah, go for it. What do you want to know about him?
Well, I mean, what do you expect from a guy named Carney? I mean, it's built right into his name. He's a carnival barker. We should cut to the chase and just call him Mark Conman.
Conman, Carney. I mean, it's utterly ridiculous.
So let me just tell you this is what this guy, his first act as Prime Minister of Canada was to lie to the Canadian people. That may seem like a bold allegation, but there are no two ways about it. Carney held a cabinet meeting, invited the TV cameras in, and held a Trump-style executive order signing that was nothing but a charade. TV cameras aren't normally allowed into Canadian cabinet meetings, but Carney, just hours after being sworn in as Prime Minister, invited the media to watch him sign away the consumer carbon tax.
Yeah.
Now, what's wrong with that? Based on the discussion we've had and consistent with the promises that I made and others supported, we will be eliminating the Canadian fuel charge, that consumer fuel charge, immediately, Carney said. Immediately after that, he signed the document as if his signature wiped away that tax. To actually do away with that consumer portion of the carbon tax, but not the carbon tax completely, would require an act of Parliament. So the Greenhouse Gas Pollution Pricing Act was passed in 2018 and allows the governor in council, meaning cabinet advising the governor general, to adjust the tax rate, but not do away with it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So hang on.
Okay.
To actually, that's the first lie, Carney and the Liberals. So basically, the carbon tax in Canada is their version of the Epstein flight list, I guess. Anyway.
The carbon tax is put upon us people. We pay an extra, or did you want me to go?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
More, yeah. Well, we pay an extra 23% for every liter of fuel that we buy, and it is put onto the consumer. So what does that do for gas prices here? It makes your groceries more expensive. It makes everything more expensive, right? It drives up inflation, all in the hope that maybe one day, what are we going to do, save the planet in 40 years when we're all old and gray? Is that what we're supposed to be doing? And we're the only country that has a carbon tax. And first of all, a little bit of carbon is good for the atmosphere, and no other country, the US, Russia, Canada, India, China, do not have carbon taxes. So since 2018, when they put this in, we have been banging about going, get rid of this. We can't afford it.
So while you guys are taxing yourself over carbon emissions, China's building coal plant after coal plant after coal plant, and we're drilling here in the United States and fracking. Right. So seems kind of pointless that for a country of 38 million people, right? Is that about how many people are?
That's what we have.
That they would do this to themselves, that they would make everything 23% more expensive in their own country.
And we sell coal to China.
Ah!
So we do that. We have,
it's virtue signaling.
Yeah, but why are we doing this to ourselves? We already have such a shitty GDP. We don't make that much money. We don't have a big population. Why do we want to push our people down even more? It's already hard enough to make a living here. We're not America. We don't have what you guys have for industry, for economy, for anything, for growth or for population. So when our government does this to us, I can only think that they want to erode the middle class. So the conservatives have been saying axe the tax, Pierre Poilievre, right? Axe the tax, axe the tax. And the liberals are all like, oh, no, we need it. Oh, the climate change is very important, blah, blah, blah. And then this Yahoo, Carney, gets in here, and the way he got in was so bad. It was so immoral, but that's another little story. But his first order of business is, look at me, I wiped away the carbon tax. Well, he didn't. Oh, what? So now it's okay. You liberals were like banging on about this, but now you're okay with removing it. And you're right. That article is totally right. You need it to be passed in Parliament, but Parliament isn't sitting. So he basically just took the tax and put it down to zero, but it still exists.
So it goes on. It says that was the first lie Carney and the liberals told on the carbon tax after telling us for years that anyone who opposed the tax wanted the planet to burn.
Yeah.
The liberals. Yeah. So ever since if you oppose this tax, you're a bad person and you don't care about climate change and you want the planet to burn. Oh, you know what? We're going to get rid of it. Isn't that amazing? How they just oh, you know what? All that stuff we said, don't pay any attention to it.
No, never mind. Forget about that whole thing. Yeah.
So go ahead.
And it's like then he's the hero. He becomes, hey, I'm Carney. I got rid of your carbon tax. Aren't I great? You know what I mean? Like You're going to take all the accolades when Pierre Poilievre has been campaigning on this for years. Let's have a carbon tax election, and they wouldn't call the election. It's really unfair.
So here's the second lie they told is just as bad. The document that Carney signed on Friday in front of the cameras was useless.
Yeah.
I hereby instruct that the fuel charge be removed as of April 1st, 2025, and that the April 2025 Canada carbon rebate be issued. The document signed by Carney said, Prime Ministers are not presidents. They don't issue orders like this. They don't have the power to do so. It's not just a matter of optics. No Prime Minister has the legal authority to do what Carney tried to make you think he just did.
Mm-hmm.
There is no other way to interpret what Carney was trying to do other than a brazen attempt to use the Trump optics of signing an executive order to show that he is just as powerful. Here's what the actual order in council that allowed the consumer carbon tax to be reduced to zero, not eliminated, actually said. Her Excellency, by the way.
Yeah.
It's 2025. If you still have to refer to somebody as your Excellency, your country is stuck in a Renaissance fair and you have cosplaying government, okay?
Yes.
As opposed to America, which has abandoned royalty to embrace the Grand Theft Auto video game model of government.
And chainsaws, yeah.
Her Excellency, the Governor General in Council, on the recommendation of the Minister of Finance, makes the Annex Regulations amending Schedule 2 to the Greenhouse Gas Pollution Pricing Act and the Fuel Charge Regulations under Section 160 of the Great. So no need for Mark Carney's sneaky signature to make you think he did something he didn't have the power to do.
Yeah. I mean, they can reduce it to zero. You have to ask the Governor General to adjust it. I mean, but whatever. The gas is still $1.80 here, which is a lot of money. It's still like almost $2 a liter.
That's
here,
a liter. So there's like 4 liters in a gallon. So that'd be like $6 a gallon.
Yeah.
Right.
What is yours now?
California, we pay the highest gas. We pay higher gas than even in Hawaii, if you can believe that.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Because we have, again, it's supposed to, and we have the worst roads, and the place burns down when the fires start. So, but is it about $4 a gallon? And we were just in Washington, D.C. What do we pay? $2.98 a gallon. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, and we're in North America, for Christ's sake, right? We have resources all over the place. We should have pipelines, but Joe Biden killed that good Keystone pipeline. That was his first thing he did, day one. Biden did that. Why do you not want oil and gas? Why do you not cultivate that?
Well, pipelines always leak.
They leak, but trains overturn, ships overturn.
I know, it's a dirty business, right?
Yeah. I mean, build something. At least a pipeline is meant for it. So put it in the pipeline. I don't know. What are you going to do, right? But
I mean,
anyway.
you think they'd have the technology to make pipelines not leak?
They do that for other products.
You think they could do that?
They could do that. There's a way, of course. I mean, they're safer. At least it's in a part of the land that if something were to happen, maybe it would be okay, rather than the ocean, rather than a train overturning.
Well, if you could make a pipeline not go through sensitive areas where, like, they like to put it like near drinking water, and they like to do stuff like that.
Yeah. And then wherever you put it, somebody's going to get mad. Some indigenous, tribe or whatever. Like, there's always an issue. Well, do you want to drive a car or do you want to be Fred Flintstone? What do you want?
The energy is a dirty business.
It is a dirty business, and we're so stupid with it in North America. We should be like Saudi Arabia. At least you guys are rich, and at least you have Trump that's like, drill this. Let's get this going. What are we doing? At least he's business minded.
I'm coming around to doubting the solutions to climate change, or even how serious climate change is. Because if you go back and if you look at I'm doubting it. I don't know. I'm not a climate scientist. I'm a comedian who does a YouTube show. But I know the people who are telling me this are either lying or they're the biggest hypocrites in the history of the world. Bill Gates taking private jets everywhere. They all take private. But John Kerry, Barack Obama, the Zuckerbergs, Bezos, they all take private jets to meetings to decide the way to fight climate change is to not outlaw private jets, but outlaw gas powered leaf blowers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's how
your gas stove and stuff like that, because you are the carbon they want to reduce.
That's right.
Seems that way, doesn't it?
Yeah, and they're all buying gigantic yachts. 450-foot yacht Jeff Bezos owns. It's so big. It's so big it comes with a support yacht. That's how big it is. No kidding.
Oh, it does?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I mean, that guy has too much money, and his wife still doesn't have a good plastic surgeon, eh?
Oh, come on! I can't talk about that. I think she looks fantastic. I mean,
she got all that money, and then that's the face she ended up with?
I think she looks great. I didn't even know she had any plastic surgery. I'm always looking at her boobs.
But
what are you doing looking at her face?
I thought you were saying boots.
That's what I said. Her boots. She has great boots.
I just distracted by her face. I'm sure she has big knockers too, but
well, she's always she looks like she's dating Kanye. She always looks like she's half naked.
Yeah, like, give it up. Like, we don't care. We don't want to see this. Like, whatever. Okay, you were attractive. So what? Why you got to work so hard at it? I don't know. Like,
well, there's that picture from the inauguration of Zuckerberg staring at her boobs.
Yeah. Mind you, I would look too. They're there, right? They're right there. Where are you gonna look, right?
Right.
But yeah.
So this is what is the general reaction to Canadians over this Carney guy?
Oh, dude, I'm so worried right now because we were doing so well. With anything in politics, it's hard to know what to think, right? It's hard to know what to trust. Sometimes Trump does something and you like it, and then sometimes he does something and you don't like it. You think, well, what are you thinking, right? But anyway, we want Pierre to be the new prime minister, and he was on a wave of getting there. And then all of a sudden, they tricked us. That's what I feel. Like, Trudeau resigned, passed the baton to Mark Carney. Mark Carney just got in. Legally, he did get in, but only 100,000 Liberal voters voted him in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were so 100,000 people, some of them you didn't have to have a Canadian address and you could be 14 years old. You were eligible to vote. They voted this guy in, so he became the new prime minister and de facto Liberal leader, right? And de facto prime minister. Okay, so that's that. But anybody that stood up and got in his way, like a real person, there was a girl here named Ruby Dalla that ran, and she raised the money, $350,000 for the entry fee to become the Liberal leader. They disqualified her for bullshit reasons. They announced it to her face on CBC television and then told her she was disqualified, but kept the money. The Liberal Party did. So they did all this dirty work to noodle him in, and the Canadian media just goes, "Oh, look at this Carney. He was a banker, and he's going to come save the day. Oh, he's so good with economics. Oh, he knows how to handle Trump." The hell he does. He went off to France. He's over hugging Macron in France, calling Canadians European. So they just put him in.
So he was wasn't he the governor of the Bank of England?
Governor of the Bank of England, governor of the Bank of Canada. He's
just a banker, and he wasn't even elected to Parliament.
He doesn't even have a seat. Technically, he can't go into Parliament and say anything or do anything. He doesn't even have a riding. He doesn't have a seat.
And so,
how do you become prime minister?
It's like if they just grabbed like Jamie Dimon in the United States and made him president. Or
grab the guy that works at the Esso or whatever at the local gas station or something. Just, hey, you'll do. Or no, grab a banker. Grab one of the elites.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Jamie Dimon is the head of.
Oh yeah, what is he the head of again?
He's the head of.
Palantir?
No, his bank.
Chase.
Is it J.P. Morgan Chase? Is that it?
Oh, okay. I think Carney worked there too. He's the UN Special Envoy for Climate Action, former investment banker for Goldman Sachs, a WEF trustee.
He's a Goldman Sachs guy. A WEF trustee? You guys just made your prime minister. Yeah. What is going on with Canada, eh?
What is going on in the regular Canadian people? Because the media is selling him like this guy this economist. A lot of them are eating it up. And because everybody's so mad at Trump for the tariffs that haven't happened yet, that there's such a Trump backlash when we thought the conservatives were going to get in. Now they're spit shining Carney. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people who are half awake are kind of like falling into the lair of the media Kool-Aid on it. And we're scared. A lot of us sort of people, we don't want this. It's so bad here in Canada. To have a man like this become our prime minister. Nobody voted for him, yet no one is raising a stink about it in a way, like regular people. It's because like you do what you told. If they told you to take the injection to save Granny, you do that. If they tell you to support Ukraine, you do that. If they tell you this guy's going to save the day, he's an investment banker, you accept that.
I know.
And it's the media's fault, like the place that I come from. And recently we just did I don't work for them anymore, but there's a story on Global News where you could go into a smash room. You know those rooms where you can go in and smash things?
No.
TV. Oh, we have rooms like rage rooms. You don't have rage rooms?
Do we have those? Misha says we do have those.
Oh.
I didn't know.
You could have like a side rumble rage room or something like that.
I didn't know about this.
And you could smash pictures. And you know what we're doing in Canada? We're smashing the pictures of Elon Musk, J.D. Vance, and Donald Trump.
Oh, no kidding.
With a sledgehammer. And that story is going on Global News.
Okay, Canada, eh?
Oh, it's so bad.
Hey, some coffee's weak. Some coffee is sad. But 1775 coffee, it's bold, it's strong. It's America's first in every single cup. The dark roast hits harder than a Trump landslide. The medium roast, smooth, no bitterness, just like life was before 2020. And the Vitality Mushroom Blend fuels your brain like a debate night victory. Small farm, small batches, roasted fresh in Miami every week. You'll taste the difference. Only the best makes it into your cup. Whole bean, ground pods, they've got it all. Go to 1775coffee.com. Use code DOOR for 15% off and start your morning with coffee that stands for something. Come see us on tour in Hartford, Connecticut, Syracuse, Atlantic City, Levittown, Cohost, Providence, San Jose, Toledo, Ohio. Go to jimmydore.com for tickets.